Here we go. Welcome back, Revolt family. Today's workout of the day is a doozy. It is a home version of it, so it's probably going to feel a little bit different, but as far as your mental game, it's still going to test it. It is, in fact, my friends, the Bergeron beep test. If you've ever done the Bergeron beep test, you know what I mean as far as it's going to test your mentality. This is an EMOM for as long as possible. Every minute on the minute, you're going to do exactly the same thing. You're going to go ahead and do 7 odd object thrusters, 7 odd object ground to overhead, and then you'll go ahead and do 7 burpees. However much time you have left in that minute, that's your rest time. You would want to strategize, though, to have as little rest time as possible and just move a little bit slower through each minute, through your movements. If you get like 3 to 5 seconds of rest each round, that's good. That's going to help you keep your heart rate down, help you keep from blowing up. Hopefully, you'll be able to get a few more rounds into the workout. So the Bergeron beep test, again, 7 odd object thrusters, 7 odd objects ground to overhead, and we'll go over that here in a second. And then you're going to go ahead and do 7 burpees. For the workout warm-up, as always, you want to make sure get the heart rate up, break a sweat, get nice and comfortable, ready to hit the workout. You're going to go ahead and do 3 rounds of this, guys. We're going to go ahead and do air squats, Spider-Man with a reach, active Spider-Man with a reach, and then we'll go ahead and do a down dog. So with the air squats, as always, I'm really focused on my feet are going to be slightly outside my shoulders, and then from here I'm thinking about ripping the ground apart. Once I'm ripping that ground apart, my hips are going to go down and back, and then come back up. Throughout that, I'm keeping that core nice and tight, trying to keep my chest up as much as I possibly can. So again, rip that ground apart. I'm gonna go ahead and do air squats for 30 seconds. Nice and easy air squats. Once you do air squats for 30 seconds, we're gonna go ahead and do active Spider-Man. Active Spider-Man, I'm gonna take a nice deep lunge out, and I'm gonna try to bring my forearm as close to the ground as I can. And then I'm gonna go ahead and reach up to the sky, switch feet, forearm as close to the ground as I can, reach up to the sky, and I'm just gonna go ahead and transfer between those two for 30 seconds. Once I do that, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do down dog. So I'll do a push-up into down dog. When I do that push-up, I'm thinking about keeping my core nice and tight, my quads are nice and tight, my glutes are nice and tight, elbows stay tight to the body. From there, guys, when you drive into the down dog, think about trying to get your heels as close to the ground as you can. It'll look like this. When you are in that down dog position, I want you to focus on really pressing actively through the shoulders. That's going to help you when you're doing your thrusters and your ground to overhead. Warm up those shoulders. Once you do that, guys, we're going to do 3 more rounds of a different type of movement, 20 seconds of each. So the time frame is going to be a little bit different. So we're going to go ahead and do 20 seconds of jumping jacks. Once you do 20 seconds of jumping jacks, then you're going to go ahead and do squat jumps and mountain climbers. With your squat jumps, same thing as the air squats. And I'm not trying to jump for height. I'm not trying to touch the roof or anything like that. I just want to get some air under my feet. So again, I'm ripping that ground apart, do my air squat, jump. And again, I'm just trying to get some air under my feet. Once you do that, you're going to do your jump squats for 20 seconds. Then the last thing we're going to do is mountain climbers. I'm going to get into that lunge position that we were in earlier for the Spider-Man. Feet are staying flat on the ground. That foot that's closest to my hand, it's just going to switch with the other one, and I'm just going to go back and forth in that mountain climber position, and you're going to do that for 20 seconds. So again, you're going to do 3 rounds of 30 seconds each. Air squats, active Spider-Man with a reach. Then you're going to go ahead and do push-up to down dog. Then you're going to do 3 rounds, 20 seconds each. You're going to go ahead and do jumping jacks, jumping air squats, and then the last thing you're going to do is mountain climbers. Once you do this, guys, we're going to go ahead and hit the Bergeron beep test. The Bergeron beep test, guys, is a doozy. Like I mentioned, it's every minute on the minute for as long as possible. If you can go for 20, 30 minutes, kudos to you. Great job. So what we're going to be doing with the Bergeron beep test, every minute on the minute, 7 odd object thrusters. So if you have something that you can go ahead and do a thruster with, even a dumbbell like this, that's totally fine. If you've got a barbell, even better. So we're gonna go ahead and do a thruster, which is essentially a front squat with a push press. So front squat and then push press through that motion. As you're coming up out of the ground, I'm really thinking about squeezing my glutes to create that momentum up and then really shrugging that weight off of my shoulders. Again, we're gonna go ahead and just do a front squat to a push press overhead. You can have the dumbbell like this. If that's too light, just think about doing a couple of thrusters with the right, a couple of thrusters with the left. Maybe one round I do 7 thrusters with the left. Next round I might do 7 thrusters with the right. Once you do that, you're gonna go ahead and do 7 odd object ground to overhead. If you have a dumbbell or a bag of food, dog food, whatever it is you have, that's totally fine. You're gonna have that object in between your legs. From here, guys, think about hinge back at the hips, bend the knees, grab onto what you have, looking kind of straight ahead in front of me. From here, I'm gonna drive my heels into the ground, keep that odd object as close to me as I possibly can, and then punch out overhead. It'll look like this. On the way down, if you want to switch, you can go ahead and switch to the other arm. If you want to go ahead and do alternating, switch to the other hand, touch the ground. Same thing on the opposite hand. If you have an object that you want to use both hands with, you totally can. It'll be a little bit easier if it's a bigger object, but with a dumbbell, you can even do that. Same concept, grab on, drive into the ground, and reach out overhead. Nice active shoulders. Once you've done 7 of those, last thing you have to do is 7 burpees. With the burpees, I'm always thinking about let gravity do its job on the way down. And then on the way up, I'm really popping the hips, trying to get my feet as close to my hands as I possibly can. And then I'm gonna finish with that jump and clap. It'll look like this. That's a burpee. So 7 burpees, that finishes off your minute. Again, whatever time you have left in that minute, that's your rest time, but you don't wanna go out hot out of the gates, guys. Think about strategizing, taking between 50 to 55 seconds to hit the 21 reps. You've got a couple of seconds to get ready, and then you start the next round. That's gonna keep your heart rate down, and you're gonna be able to get a couple more rounds. Have fun with this one, guys. As always, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and I'll see you tomorrow.